Part of me wants to say stick with retail, but no, I think I would tell my younger self, hi, my name is Rex Fuller. I'm the CEO here at the Center on Colfax. The center has been around for about 45 years, and we're dedicated to serving the LGBTQ community here in our state. We have programs serving youth, older adults, the trans community. We produce Denver Pride Fest, and we have a history project where we preserve LGBTQ history from the state. And a lot of just sort of general interest programming and work that we do here. I've worked at the center for about 8 years now. For several years I worked in marketing and communications for the center and have been in the CEO role for about 1.5 years. I've always been someone who has been aware of my sexual orientation and have tried to be a part of the community. And probably about 30 years ago, I did a play called The Normal Heart, which was a play about the AIDS crisis of the 80s by Larry Kramer. And it was very impactful on me. It's what made me come out to my family, and it's what made me really start to pay attention in a more meaningful way to activism around the AIDS crisis. So I was involved for many years with ACT UP Colorado. I was involved as a volunteer around the Pride Fest celebration, and tried to be just generally active in the political scene, but it really sprang from my work in the arts community. I grew up in rural Colorado in a very small town during the 70s, which was a lot different than it is now. Far less accepting, far fewer role models to look to. And so I think that coming to a place of personal acceptance was a long process for me. Certainly it was a long, difficult process coming out to my family. And a lot of times when I've come out, people have not actually been that surprised, but I think it's coming to accepting my own self has been a challenge. And I grew up with a pretty religious background, so sort of reconciling those elements have been a lot of challenges. And at that time, knowing that I was gay was very lonely and very isolating. But it was at a time when the gay pride movement was just getting started, and I could see parades on TV, or I could read about it in the newspaper. And that was profoundly important to me, to be able to know that while I felt isolated where I was, there were other options out there. So I think that's why visibility is so important, that individuals, no matter where they come from on the spectrum, can know there is a place where they can fit in. And that's not always easy to find. Some of the really challenging aspects that I find in this job is really trying to listen to and really trying to find compromises and solutions to represent a really wide variety of people. I think that when you look at popular culture, you might see a lot of LGBTQ people represented exclusively as white, and that's far from the case. As a white cisgender male, I think sometimes I need to challenge myself to take in other people's perspectives. And I've learned a lot, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity to learn about that. But I think that can be really the challenge, is finding the balance to really equitably represent the community. But it's also been very rewarding. And it is rewarding to come to work every day and feel as though the work I do matters. I think that pride can mean a lot of things to a lot of different people. I think there's certainly an element of representation about that. I also think that it's being able to truly be yourself and to truly be your whole person. And that could be everything from letting your freak flag fly to maybe just showing up. But whatever is true to your personal being, being able to be out and be proud about that is probably what is most important around Pride. Our community continues to grow and expand in how we think about ourselves, how we think about issues like inclusion, how we try and represent ourselves, and how we try and speak on behalf of others. And it's messy, and it's just messy. And it's worth it to kind of go through the messiness and really try and do our very best to try and just keep moving forward in terms of equal treatment and fair treatment for everybody.